Alright,
Before the restoration,
let's follow
as the
where
other
the flowers
clans
should be.
strayed and disbanded, a merchant sold us a secret. He led us to a flower whose petals burned with toxin.
Dosan's trail leads here, the source of the ink in your marks. If his eye has a
I'm
secret,
guessing we took a
it's in
private
there.
jet here.
Yeah, let's go with that. We found a way,
Yep,
basically.
the ninjas
Alright, we need
famous
to
for using private jet supplier.
decide objectives in here, since we're here to, find out what happened to Dosan. It seems that he also lost his items, so we need to actually retrieve them. And a few set objectives are tied to that. Either, retrieve them, like one of them. Oh shit, they bombed the car.
Oh snap.
Either, retrieve one of them without being noticed or without taking damage and so on. Basically,
Watch out for traps, and whatever you do, don't get caught. They'll torture you for days and let the insects.
see, we're changed again from the environment, so now the thunder is gone technically. But the new gimmick for this set of levels is that since it's that dilapidated, abandoned type of complex in the Middle East, the equivalent to modern Persia, the people here have set up booby traps. The architecture is more fragile because it's as you can see, it was being abandoned. So you have to still watch out in different manners, and there are some traps here and there, more rudimental one. So again, that's the way of the game to spice things up.
Seems like this one definitely encourages dashing
Now.
more since I can't notice any guards yet.
For
Does
now.
anyone still live out here?
Basically, those blocks are dynamite. You can basically use your dart to drop them like a stick onto the ground, but we will still be active. So unless unless you're actually setting a trap, you may want to decide to not stand too close by them and just avoid them altogether.
Does anyone still live here? Well,
Yep.
given all the dynamite, I would assume they do.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's see what these guys look like.
There you go.
Yeah, conveniently bandaged faces to not have to draw some.
If you noticed, even some of the positions in the buildings tend to be dilapidated enough so that it is more worrisome for you to actually climb them, because otherwise you might make noise or they might not be climbable. So you need to watch out even when traversing the terrain and thinking that you're safe.
Yet another good way to up the ante.
Alright, let's see if I do it. Yeah, for fun, let's also ring the bell. Why not?
Ring, ring, ring the bell.
Basically,
These guys really do pick the worst structures to hide in.
well, in this case, it doesn't seem to be their residence, but they're just guarding it.
I'm guessing it's an abandoned place, so
Yeah.
it might be where they actually do stake their residence, since, I see it a lot in media that bandits will often hide out in a ghost town or a dilapidated mansion.
Basically, that chain there gets tripped off whenever you just walk near it. So you need to watch out, to which, trap it's, connected with. You can find that out via your enhanced senses if you want.
Perfect. The sandstorm is perfect cover.
Well, that's the thing. It still hampers a bit our vision as well, as our associate will actually tell us in a few, I think.
So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I can't see a thing.
You'd think with the mystical powers of a dragon
yes,
tattoo.
you can
There we
use that to
go.
see. Yes, it's just that under normal circumstances you can't.
There are more traps inside. Remember to use the mark of
So it's
Farsight
interesting how the
so we know
adventure
what to get into.
continues. We thought it was going to be Karajan, but it seems there may be more.
I mean, these kind of stories, as showcased also by Red Faction 2, are never really over with the first major villain defeated. Let's be real.
I mean, again, for me it was a toss-up since it's an indie game, so for all I know, maybe that was the end, but I did have a feeling that, even if Karajan was like the penultimate villain, there was going to be like some hidden twist. And Lord knows, I've played enough Assassin's Creed games to be familiar with when the good guys, well, or at least our boss, turns out to be a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, the franchise does run with the idea of, you know, more gray morality. It's just that the assassins are trying to, in universe, supposedly the assassins are trying to, you know, have more the interest of mankind in mind, while the Templars want to, you know, subjugate them. But again,
There was that
at least that was their original concept. These days, who the fuck knows?
Honestly, the sad thing is that it feels like Assassin's Creed nowadays is, well, just an excuse to, hey, go to these historical land points, and I'm like, that's fine. The problem is that they pretend like we still care about the modern storyline of this.
Better be good.
A voice in my ear gives excuses in the tongue I do not speak. It is hot, and I am sinking.
Okay.
Oh my,
that's
sensual.
Again, these scrolls in this particular will be important. Go on, Joe.
But, like, no, it's like, Assassin's Creed might as well just be a twist through time at this point. Like, you know, at this point, just make them the historical bouts, because it's not even just that players don't really care about the modern storyline. Ubisoft themselves have more or less given up on it. Like, you know, at least. For as hit or miss as Desmond Miles was, during his arc, it at least felt like there was, you know, important stuff going on in the modern storyline regarding the battle between the Assassins and the Templars. Nowadays, dude, I think the person we play as in the modern times is just a random employee at this point.
I think it's even worse than that, Jova. They literally switch them, you know, after a couple of games because they really are not important in the grand scheme of things.
Like, modern world stuff in Assassin's Creed these days feels like an artifact left over from, you know, the start of the game. In which case, I'm like, dudes, just let the modern stuff go.
Alright.
Focus on the past.
We seem to have reached the location, so let's see if we can find... Oh. What happened to Dosan?
Hi.
I get the feeling this place is booby-trapped.
Well, it doesn't seem to be, but... see, our companion works seem just fine. Let's try to free him.
Is he alive? Oh, seems okay.
I got here, the bandits seized me. They tried to make me give them the marks, but I refused. For Dosan's not worth much, but I have my honor. You must save me.
Well, you're better than most of our
Find the key to
tribe, it
unlock these
seems.
chains.
Clan.
Find the tools they stole from me.
Yeah, apparently this is one of occasions where we cannot just cut the chains like the other, you know, people who were in prison in previous levels, but we need to actually find the keys. Sure.
You'd think with the mystical powers of the Mark of the Ninja, we'd be able to cut those
Well, to be
chains.
fair, we need also to retrieve his tools and the puddle of ink that he still uses, you know.
That's fair, if we want to complete the tattoo.
What was that? Closer. Get closer.
Do they get different voice actors for different factions of guards?
I don't know, honestly, because they have not that many lines. And again, IMDb only credits a few of the voice actors, so again, I can imagine all of these people are, you know, just the usual that they get for camera purpose. But again, the usual ones that I normally are more familiar with, Paul Dobson and Scott McNeil, they are not credited, nor I really recognize them.
I am legit surprised Scott McNeil isn't in this. Like, typically, if something is Canadian, he's usually there for voice acting.
Again, he's the Canadian Steve Blum.
Yes. Also, I do find it interesting that the guards are more or less Karajan's guards, just in a different garb.
Oh
but
yeah,
again,
for the sake of
saved
gameplay.
assets.
Yeah, for the sake of gameplay.
I'm not gonna be hard on it. It's an indie game, and you know they're using their assets wisely.
Alright, let's see if the guard actually goes through. Okay, I was actually
Surprise!
wondering if I could actually use the one of the kind of dynamite kind of stick as a trap, but you know that works too.
So, do like those wire traps activate just by you walking across them, or do you
Yes,
actually have to attack them to cut them?
It's just what type of, booby trap are connected with the changes. Maybe it's a weight that falls down. Maybe it's a set of, darts. Um,
Basically,
oh
mind your
boy, this
surroundings.
room is
Oh,
weird. Okay, I'm not sure if I still got it. Got the actual mechanism because you're supposed to basically activate the levers in a specific sequence, which will drop the dynamite, then raise the spikes, then lower them, and then allow you to actually lower the wall that connects with the scroll. But the thing is that I don't know for which occasion. Sometimes if you actually are on the platforms, random spikes will actually get thrown in your direction, meaning that counts as an insta kill, especially because they're almost unavoidable. So I honestly don't know with what criteria they get activated. But again, the actual mechanism of the room is relatively simple. It's just the activation of the insta kill condition that still escapes me. But whatever. Again, basically you're closing this wall, so you can activate the lever down, which will open the wall of the scroll and protect you nonetheless from the kunais that are thrown at you.
there we go.
In the sand outside the fortress, I kneel. The blade in my hand shakes. I hold it to my chest, where the shame chokes
What a
me.
lovely death poem
I
he's
crave
writing.
relief.
Wait a
Force myself
minute.
to drop the blade.
Remember, this is about also a pressure plate. This is about the founder of the clan, which supposedly brought shame to them.
Quite a story this is telling. Be funny if these bandits were actually who Karajan hired his security force from.
No, doesn't seem to be that way. Especially because, again, Karajan... Also this... well...
Whoa!
I just wanted to leave it here because I know there's kind of this like of instant weird deaths. Again, some of these traps are genuine insta-kills, so you need to watch out. I don't think this game is rated R, but there is blood, as you saw previously, so...
R's for movie ratings, so let me check on the game rating.
Yeah, Steam should have the rating on its page.
The Sumi is usually kept underground, in an airtight chamber. A chamber just like this one.
Let's see...
And in this case we need to recover the ink, the Sumi, without taking any damage. This is not really that hard.
Of course.
Oh yeah, by the way, some of the pots behind which you can hide, in this case, are booby trapped too. So if you hide behind them, you just activate an timed explosive. So watch out.
Actually, yes, this is rated M.
That's weird because they don't even really swear. It's just occasional blood, and maybe sometimes a bit of violence, but not that much.
It cites blood and gore, strong language, and violence.
Okay, I don't really remember any particular major swearing. I have to be honest.
It's been a while since we've been playing through this. I don't recall any strong swears either. Admittedly, I haven't really been looking out for those either. If they do strongly swear, it's rare enough that... Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, I'm kind of dead.
If there are strong swears, either they're rare enough that I don't recall, or we have yet to come across those in the playthrough yet.
Well, I mean, this game isn't called Mark of the fucking Ninja.
No, that would be a story that Frank Miller would write.
As for the
I'm the
gore,
goddamn ninja.
As for the gore, it's not too detailed, but it is pretty bloody, so I guess I could see that being a reason for this being rated M.
Mm-hmm.
I find it...
It's more of a case where, if you want to have that kind of rating, you might as well, try to go a bit more through, as well.
You know what I find funny? A case where we've now seen a case where a game can go from M to T retroactively thanks to Ace Attorney, whereas Dual Destinies, when it came out, was rated M. But the Apollo Justice Collection is rated T, which means by extension, Dual Destinies must also be rated T now.
Well, it's also the polar opposite happened. Remember, Jova, the early Pokemon games now need to have at least a slightly higher rating because the slot machine count as, higher level of gambling.
It's weird because we see some oldie films or whatnot still retain their G ratings despite some things definitely requiring a more mature mindset, but I guess kudos on them. Oh, I'll never forget the allegations that Disney bribed the ratings system to give Hunchback of Notre Dame a G rating.
Jailer. Who knows what he
There you
did
go.
to
That's the
Dosan
one.
to make
That's the
him
guy
go
that
away.
is having the keys. So we can pocket them, or we could have still killed him. Again, it's up
The
to
choice
us.
is yours.
And yours alone.
Tell me, Pedro, was that ever confirmed that Disney bribed the ratings company to give Hunchback a G rating?
There's a very we don't have actual evidence that that was the case, but yes, that is the prevalent thing that people keep saying. Yes,
So like,
that Michael Eisner pulled some
Okay.
strings, basically.
I was actually
Would not
about to ask
surprise
which
me.
specific person it would have been Roy Disney, Jessica Katzenberg, or Michael Eisner.
And honestly, I'm not entirely. I am willing to believe it because even by 1996, like obviously, if it happened today, it would never get a G rating. We know that. But even by 1996, how the hell that movie got a G rating? I still have no idea because it makes no sense. Because PG at least would have been even PG would be debatable. Now G, come on, there's no way that movie is a fucking G.
This is gonna get published in January, so there is a good chance it's after where we're commented on the movie probably. But might as well repeat it here just in case. My parents actually brought me and my sister to see that in theaters, which meant that I was barely 5 years old when I saw it. No idea why.
I know.
It was the time where Disney movies were released on a yearly basis on Christmas during Christmas season in cinema. So very they thought that kind of thought process.
I know the mindset of why Disney wanted a G rating,
here it is.
because then parents would figure.
I have to be honest, for a fun fact, I ended up seeing the movie later, so what I to say only applies to my first viewing in theaters, because I really was so little. The only real thing that I did remember from that movie experience was when I needed to go to the bathroom during the scene where Frollo sets up the windmill on fire.
Oh
Oops.
my god.
To give you an idea, Encanto, which is a very wholesome movie that I can see getting a G, that movie still got a PG in the US still.
So you hear that, kids? It's easier for you to go see Hunchback than Encanto.
According to the MPAA, Hunchback.
Hold on. Let me just mention this. Now I have upgraded Hisomu Terror Darts, which not only provides still the usual effect of one being terrorized and killing all the others, in this case one the other dog, but now gives a skull icon and a timer. And when the timer reaches 0,
He dies of a heart attack?
no, he's compelled to commit suicide.
Oh! Okay, that probably contributed to the M rating.
Jesus.
Go, Pedro.
Basically. So yeah, according to the MPAA, ladies and gentlemen, Encanto is more grown up than Hunchback. In fact, let's see. Since Theo brought up Italy, Italy. Yeah, Italy. It got a T. What does T stand for, Theo?
T14, I guess.
I crushed the
I honestly don't know. Pedro, usually the ratings here in my country are based on age. Normally they don't really say anything. The only case when they mention is usually 14 plus and 18 plus.
Yeah, it's weird because it just says for my country it says M12 as in 12 and up. So my country actually gave it the proper rating back in the day.
Like, I guess on the one hand, it certainly contributed to the movie making
what the UK
more
did.
money, but still,
It's possible
damn.
because the
Good.
movie still talks in some kind of fashion about the actual problems that Colombia is facing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Theo, but like even when they show the flashback of Grandma's family getting killed in that actual real historic event,
Okay, I
it's
don't
all
remember.
it's all off screen. But basically, there's a scene where a certain character's family
I
gets.
was about to say, does it show actually people holding guns? That might be a factor, I guess.
It shows them with a sword,
Okay,
and it's heavily implied that they killed those people, but we don't see it. It's off screen.
No,
If
if it was having guns, I guess that would raise the rating a
Oh, yeah,
tiny
sure.
bit, but no, I guess no.
Dwebs, in the UK, Hunchback of Notre Dame got rated U. What does U stand for?
Universal, I think.
Universal.
Meaning for everybody. Okay, got it.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
It's the lowest one you can get.
So
Like-
the UK agrees with the US.
I honestly don't even know why my parents brought me and my sister when we were kids to watch it, because the original story is basically about Victor Hugo saying that the church sucks.
Oh.
If I recall correctly,
that's
the
easy to explain,
marketing
too.
definitely makes
Yeah,
it seem
I
like
was
it's
about
a
to say that.
family-friendly venture.
Trust me. Go back to the marketing of that game, to the original trailers. They hide as much of Frollo's stuff as they can, basically.
I can tell you that my parents are literate enough to have read the original books. They probably wouldn't know what the original story was.
Well, to be fair, by that point, Disney were famous for toning down the darkness in stories, so I could see your parents thinking, "Oh, this will be a family-friendly venture."
Yeah.
Because apparently, according to BFI Screen Online, a website, if you're comparing the BBFC R-age rating group to the MPAA, and that's the US one, the MPAA apparently, compared to the BBFC, they're more lenient towards violence, but they're a lot tougher on sex and non-sexual nudity. But the BBFC is the other way around. We're a bit lenient towards sex, but more harsher on violence.
So here's an interesting thing. I'm checking on the IMDb page. Oh, sorry. Is this important?
No, I was just groaning to the type of news that we've said, the fact that there's so much discord instead of actually trying to reach a consensus on the matter.
Sure. I'm seeing here Canada gave it a PG, except Quebec. Quebec gave it a G. I don't know why Quebec has its own rating separate from the rest of Canada, but whatever. The Philippines gave it PG-13.
That's Phelan Hearts, that.
Yeah, you probably know about the movie logistics over there.
Russia gave it a 6+.
Anyway, if you pay attention to the first scroll that we got, something weird was mentioned. Something about the flowers not, being present, which will be weird.
Which sort of harkens back to what this guy was suggesting about the tattoo acting weird.
And apparently Dosan just confirmed to us that the flowers have been dead for over a year, and the master of the clan knew, which would explain why he wanted to steal from Karajan.
So does this mean that the magic's all bogus? We've just been acting on our natural abilities?
No. Remember, Dosan used the ink that he had. It just that he noted that it wasn't fresh, but the ink that he used was the legitimate article. It's just that it was the reserve that he had. It's just a matter that it seems that as also the characters will theorize in the next couple of parts, the what made the clan unique, one-trick pony assassins that will be killed one way or another, because of the magical powers of the tattoo, it seems to have evaporated. So probably the master sought an alternative by stealing from Karajan. That's the general theory. Go on, Pedro.
So basically, we've been bamboozled.
Pedro?
I'm checking. I was trying to check the Blu-ray, but apparently there's still no Blu-ray release of this movie. It's so weird.
That's weird.
I guess the most recent rating would have to be the Disney Plus rating, but I can't check that right now.
Anyway, that's it for this part. Tune in for the next one, where we will take a slight detour and tackle the DLC level that was added, since while it's not super important story-wise, it showcased one particular mission that Dosan did in the past while he was young. So see you for that.
Interesting.
Yeah.